Alright guys, I'm going to try to do a little tutorial video and show how some of this stuff works so that maybe next time in April people can do this themselves and also understand the importance of keeping track of some of the stuff during the battles. So I created a new crusade called Let's Learn Shit, so hopefully we'll learn some shit. So click into it. We're going to go to games and we're going to add a game. It's going to be a validated game. It's going to be against myself and myself. So it's going to be against the blood and the sick. This team's going to score 45. This team's going to score 50. It's going to be a combat patrol game. Let's make it excursion. We'll put in a name. This is learning. And we're going to hit next. And then we're going to hit submit. And it's going to bring up this. And we're going to click on view game. You can send this to your opponent so that they can enter in things, or they can just go and click on the game tab and find the game that they belong to. When you bling it in, it will bring it up into here, and this is where you're going to add in your army information for your army. Excuse me. This is why it's important to keep track of everything. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to select your units that you participated. So let's just select some stuff. There we go. Everything. Alright, so let's say that during the game, this guy, he killed a guy, so we'll give him that. He didn't get any agenda experience. Let's say the Poxwalkers, because they tend to be some murder machines. They killed 3 units, but they died. But they passed their out of action test, so that's good. This one, they didn't, and they got a battle scar. Then enter in the description. -1 movement. The Tallyman, he didn't get any kills, but he scored an agenda experience. The Foul Blight Spawn, he got a kill, but he died during the battle, and he suffered a devastating blow and took all of his experience he earned. The Plague Burst Collar, he got a couple kills. The Terminators got a couple kills. Plague Marines didn't do shit, but passed their thing. So, next thing to do here is mark for greatness. We'll give those Blight Terminators an extra kill. You normally, with the mark for greatness, your opponent and you sit down and you talk about who on your team and who on their team was the MVP. Not who you want to level up the quickest, who actually performed the best. Like in JP and I's last game, his stupid Dreadnought, I put God knows how many shots in it, and he just stood tall and held the center of the board and really helped turn the tide for JP. So that was clearly like his MVP. And we both agreed on it. So you discuss with your opponent who was the MVP that did the best for your team. And you come to a consensus, and then you mark them for greatness. So in this instance, we're going to say that it was the Blight Light Terminators, and they also got an agenda experience so that we could show how leveling up will work. So we review this. It's going to put it all into a format that you can see who got what kills, total experience, who got destroyed, who got battle scars, who got devastating blow, who was marked for greatness, all that stuff. It's going to update right to the unit roster. It's going to add all that stuff in, as we'll see in a minute. So that's done. So we'll go ahead and submit the army for the other side. Chaplain on a bike, some assault intercessors, a Redemptor Dreadnought, because of course. And why not another one of those things? So his chaplain on a bike does stuff. He'll probably be marked for greatness because he's cool. Destroyed, devastating blow, but they probably killed some things. Redemptor Dreadnought. Maybe this one got blown up. Then we'll just hit review. Then we'll hit submit. Click on this. This fucking goes away. And there we go. So, and then we can hit approve because I'm the thing. And then you come up with a battle report. It'll show all of that. And that's got all of it listed. So, now that that's done, it'll show up here in the game section as a game that's been validated. So we'll go to the sick roster now because we had some units that leveled up. So our Blight Lord Terminators did really well. They gained their 6 experience that they needed, and they leveled up. And as you can see, the green icon indicates that they have now went from battle ready to a bloodied unit, which means they are ready to level up. So we can click into the Terminators here, and we can add an upgrade. Now, normally when a unit levels up during a match, you will go back to the person that you just last played, and you will discuss what that unit did during that match. So, for example, one time when Andrew and I played a game, he had this elite unit that did not have objectives secured, but that unit held this one objective through hell and high water, and they happened to level up that game. So we talked about it, and because they did such a good job holding their ground when it came to choosing the battle honors, we agreed that objective secured battle honor was the right one based on their performance. And so the battle honors, you'll go back to the opponent that you played in the game that they level up and discuss what was the trait that kind of defined them, and then look at the appropriate charts in the book for what they could choose from, and then come to an agreement based on that. Because while it's a competition, it's also supposed to be narrative. So it's not all just completely min and maxing. So you'll then click on battle armors. You'll choose which one based on your agreement. So for this one, let's say like one of the guys who had a weapon had a really good weapon, and we felt like maybe, now he earned an upgraded weapon of that, so we could just put like super stabby sword or whatever the official thing would be. Then you can put in the actual stat of it. Let's say it's +1 wound rolls. And then we click submit. And then it pops down here. He has a Crusade relic, the Super Stabby Sword, now, that gives +1 wound rolls. And that's kind of how this whole system works. It keeps track of everything. That's why it's important to keep track of everything on those sheets. Discuss your mark for greatnesses with your opponent so that you guys can start going in and adding these things in after the games and validating what each other puts in, so that I don't have to do it all. So yeah, I mean, I know there's going to be questions, which is fine. But hopefully this video kind of shows a little bit about, why you have the sheets, what they're for, and how the system works. So now when you go back in and you look at these rosters, it shows, the wins, losses. Go into the blood roster, you look at the units, keeps track of all the kills, keeps track of your experience. Like this has got 5. So this battle chaplain in his next battle, if it gets another point, it's going to level up. It's going to get, it's going to get a battle trait, battle honor. If you look at, you can look at the history and everything. If we go to our actual campaign, once everything gets inputted, it adds into our scoreboard here. As we can see right now, Aaron and Bob's are the leaders right now, but I think since Anthony won, that they'll be ahead. And now you're probably wondering, how are we getting to these? I don't know if there's an easy way for you guys to see it, but I showed it to you during our original thing we did. But boarding actions are awarded 1 point for defeats, 2 points for ties, 3 points for the victory. The incursion missions are 1, 3, 4. So since JP beat me, he got 4 points, and I got 1 point. Carter and Andrew both lost, so they both got 1. Aaron and Bob both won, so they both got 3. So their team right now has 6. I haven't figured out yet how to keep track of your secondary victory points in the system yet. So right now, just keep track of those in a notebook. Like, I got really lucky and scored 12 secondary victory points against JP. So I just wrote that in my notebook that I have for the Crusade for myself to help keep track of some of my agendas and my planet devouring and stuff like that. So yeah, so hopefully you guys found this helpful. Remember, I'm not a teacher like Bob, so if you didn't like it, fuck off with the most love. So, bye.